Appendix C. Summary of Co-Design Workshops. Civic Spaces. Robson Square, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1972. 5 workshops involving communities and schools in the locality of Robson Square and the District of Vancouver. Nationally broadcast on CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and CTV, Canadian Television, and filmed by the NFB, National Film Board, as Chairs for Lovers. Results realized by Arthur Erickson Architects. Burrard Inlet Waterfront, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1972. 5 workshops involving community and local schools. Results incorporated into development. Calgary, Downtown Riverbank, Calgary, Alberta, 1981. 8 workshops involving communities and schools. Workshops held in universities and colleges to recruit artists and writers. Results incorporated in landscape treatment and recreation planning. Calgary Civic Center Area, Calgary, Alberta, 1981. 3 workshops and a television phone-in involving communities and students of the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. Results used in a national architectural competition for the City Hall extension. Victoria Harbour, Victoria, British Columbia. 1985, 2 workshops involving communities and the University of Victoria. Proposal for a hydrofoil terminal in the Inner Harbour. Results incorporated in area development. Communities. James Bay, Victoria, British Columbia, 1972. 1 workshop involving the community held in James Bay to reaffirm need to keep area family housing. Results incorporated into the James Bay City Plan. Falls Creek South Residential Area, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1973. 36 workshops involving the community. 3 months of weekend workshops and image surveys. Results realized by a team of architects and landscape architects. Falls Creek Housing Cooperatives, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1974. 3 workshops involving residents in preparation for their discussion with their architects. Mount Pleasant, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1974. 12 workshops involving the community, along with an image survey of the residents' wishes for the future of the inner city suburb. Results incorporated into the city plan. Falls Creek Community Center, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1975. 1 workshop involving the community. Renovation of old industrial building on Granville Island. Results realized by the architect. Campbell River, British Columbia, 1975. 1 workshop involving the community. Issues involving pedestrian and commercial areas of the downtown area. Results incorporated into the town plan. Falls Creek School, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976. 1 workshop involving the community and local school children. Results realized by the architect. Falls Creek Children's Play Area, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976. 2 workshops involving community, children, and parents. Results realized by the Vancouver Parks Board. Central Saanich, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976. 1 workshop involving the community. Issue involving plans for the entire area while retaining rural values. Results incorporated into land use bylaws. Quesnel, British Columbia, 1977. One workshop involving the community, recreation area and building. It results incorporated into the concept plan. Nanaimo, British Columbia, 1977. One workshop involving the community, upgrading of the old downtown area. Results incorporated into the redevelopment plan. Westbound Park, Burnaby, British Columbia, 1977. Two workshops involving the community and schools. Redecoration of the exterior of the community center using murals painted by the children and adults. Earlton, Calgary, Alberta, 1979. 3 workshops with the community and schools plus a citywide television phone-in. Issue to retain family homes after the arrival of a light rapid transit station, which would consequently raise land values. Results incorporated into the area redevelopment plan. Crescent Heights, Calgary, Alberta, 1981. One workshop involving the community, images of a new community center. Results incorporated into the architect's design. Hillhurst Sunnyside, Calgary, Alberta, 1983. One workshop involving the community. Issue over concern that the light rapid transit would be routed through the 9A Street area and destroy the neighborhood. Results failed to change the routing, although the redesign of route retains trees and family housing. Hillhurst Sunnyside Community School, Calgary, Alberta, 1983. 2 workshops involving the community and students. Charter for a community school setting out the activities required by users. Results: charter granted and program is designed based on the workshop results. Millerville Community School, Alberta, 1983. 2 workshops involving the community and students. Issue to heighten community participation in providing training programs in farming and rural skills. Result: program founded based on the workshop results. Banff Recreation Center, Banff, Alberta, 1983. 2 workshops with town planning staff. Community desire for recreation facilities and for the consideration to rebuild Frank Lloyd Wright's Pavilion. Destroyed in the 1930s, it had been one of the few Wright landmarks in Canada. The result was the consolidation of community plans for the facilities. High River, Alberta, 1984. 4 workshops involving the town community, economic development and search for an image for this dormitory town 30 miles south of Calgary. The result proved to heighten interest and participation in upgrading the town center to attract investment and to give guidance to developmental planning. Inglewood, Calgary, Alberta, 1987. 3 workshops involving the community and schools. Community input and concept design for the area redevelopment plan of a commercial strip and riverbank area. Results formed the basis for development of a community plan. Institutional buildings. Port Hawkes Sudbury, Nova Scotia, 1972. The first co-design workshop conducted. Issue: New Community School. Results incorporated into the design. Kamloops Environmental Studies Center, Kamloops, British Columbia, 1974. One workshop involving instructors and teacher training students at Simon Fraser University School of Environmental Studies. Results incorporated into the renovation and expansion of existing facilities. University of Victoria Environmental Studies Center, Victoria, British Columbia, 1975-77. Learning exercises with students and instructors. Senior Citizen Accommodation, Surrey, British Columbia, 1975. One workshop. Activities and images of the parts. Results incorporated into instructions to the architect. Vancouver School Board Open Area Teaching, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1975. 5 workshops. Investigation into teachers' and students' preferences for learning accommodation in schools with open area classrooms. Result: reports submitted to school board. Kimberley Arts Center, British Columbia, 1976. 2 workshops with the arts community. Conversion of existing service club hall into an art center for graphics, sculpture, painting, pottery, ballet, theater, and fabric arts. Result: a sketch design for the arts center. All Saints Church, Coquitlam, British Columbia, 1977. 3 workshops. Congregational input into the design of the church. Result: concept design. Mount Currie Indian Band Community School, British Columbia, 1977. 5 workshops. Rare example of teachers in an Indian reserve designing their own school. Result: school built in reference to their ideas. InterVarsity Christian Fellowship Camp, Chehalis, British Columbia, 1977. 1 workshop. Layout and concept design of buildings. Funding: InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. Result: camp built to meet workshop results. Mount Royal College, Calgary, Alberta, 1981. 5 workshops involving staff and students of Mount Royal College plus architectural students from the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology in Calgary. Design of parts for improved teaching and learning facilities. Results incorporated in college extension. Hillhurst Sunnyside Senior Citizens Facility, Calgary, Alberta, 1982. 1 workshop involving senior citizens and architects. Images of preferences for the design of a new facility. Results incorporated in the design by the architect. Kensington Restaurant, Calgary, Alberta, 1983. 1 workshop involving customers and staff. Alteration of existing basement into a deli sandwich bar. Results: restaurant built on the basis of workshop drawings. Golden Age Club, Calgary, Alberta, 1983. 1 workshop plus a television phone-in with senior citizens. Design of parts for the new accommodation. Result: design amended to incorporate workshop results. Langevin Community Greenhouse, Calgary, Alberta, 1984. 3 workshops involving the community, school staff, and students. Design of parts and concept for a rooftop greenhouse as a classroom and community resource. Result: report submitted to the Alberta Environmental Research Council and Calgary School Board. Critique Room, Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, SAIT, Calgary, Alberta, 1985. 1 workshop involving staff and students of architecture. Renovations to school accommodations. Results incorporated in design and budget for renovations. SAIT Campus Improvements, SAIT SA Store, Calgary, Alberta, 1987. 1 workshop involving students of the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology in Architecture and Marketing. Result: a new students association, SAIT-SA Store. Robert McClure United Church, Calgary, Alberta, 1986-87. 2 workshops involving congregation and architectural students. Design of parts, concept design, and sketch design. Results approved by congregation to be incorporated into final design. SAIT Campus Improvements, Calgary, Alberta, 1979-87. Yearly exercise for students in architectural theory. Salmon Arm Waterfront Development, Salmon Arm, British Columbia, 1988. 1 workshop involving the developer and local citizens. Emphasis on retaining compatibility between commercial development and a natural reserve. Education, teacher training, Face of the City Project, Calgary, Alberta, 1972. 1 workshop, Urban Environment Study Program. Simon Fraser University, Faculty of Education, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1972-76. 5 workshops, School of Environmental Education, Summer School, 3 weeks duration. Bellingham, Washington, United States, 1973, Art Teachers Conference. Pasadena, California, United States, 1977, Teachers Conference on the issues of teaching about the built environment. School visits, 1972-87. Visits to schools to conduct workshops in Montreal, Quebec, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Vancouver, Rutland, Powell River, Albany, Kelowna, Victoria, Surrey, and Williams Lake, all in British Columbia, Regina, Saskatchewan, and Calgary, Alberta. Parks and education. Workshops with children involved in the design of parks as part of their studies in art, community studies, language arts, and social studies. Burnaby, British Columbia, 1975. North Vancouver Play Area, British Columbia, 1976. Guelph Park, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976. King Edward Park, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976. Riley Park, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976. Riley Park, Calgary, Alberta, 1984. Briar Hill, Calgary, Alberta, 1986. University of Victoria, Cowichan Lake Center, Victoria, British Columbia, 1984. 3 workshops involving university students, architectural students, and staff. Design for an environmental center on a wilderness site at Cowichan Lake, Vancouver Island. Result: sketch design approved by all participants. Elk Beaver Lake Regional Park, Victoria, British Columbia, 1985. 3 workshops involving the community of park users, university students, architectural students, and park staff. Designed for improvements to the most heavily used area of the Victoria District parks, 1,000 people per day. Emphasis was on retaining the natural conditions. Result: report submitted and presented to the Victoria Regional District Board. Demonstrations at conferences. Community Planning Association of Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia, 1972. Royal Architectural Institute of Canada, Victoria, British Columbia, 1974. Design Canada, Kingston and Ottawa, Ontario, 1975. Educational Facilities Planners, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1975. American Institute of Planners, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976. American Institute of Architects, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1976. Design Canada, Edmonton, Alberta, 1976. United Nations Habitat Conference, Vancouver, British Columbia, 1976 to 77. United Nations Habitat Conference, Campbell River, British Columbia, 1977. Muttart Gallery Association, Calgary, Alberta, 1985. Appendix C. Stands formula for calculating depth in perspective. Stands formula D1. The height of figures in workshop drawing indicates their distance from the plane of the paper. This figure is about 60 feet 20 meters away. This figure is about 30 feet 10 meters away. D2. The relationship between a 4-inch high figure drawn on the artist's paper 24 inches from the artist's eye. D3 is the same as 5-foot high figure standing. D4, 30 feet away. To get distance in feet of a fig, divide its drawn eyeline height into 120. Divide drawn eyeline height in centimeters 100 to get distance in meters.